all the XRP investors who've been around for the last 10 years, the ones who kept saying that one day almost every financial asset would be moved onto the blockchain, they were right. That future is finally here and it's actually happening. I've been saying this from the start. It was always so clear to me. I mean, just look at the XRP ledger. It has a built-in decentralized exchange, and you can tokenize any asset on it. Even if the only benefit was making things more efficient, that alone would have been enough to prove we were heading in the right direction. And now it's all coming together, just like we said it would. Look, for this whole crypto space to really grow up, a few things had to happen. We needed the market to mature. We needed people to trust it more. And we needed to prove that blockchains could stick around for years without getting hacked. That's actually one of the biggest strengths of the XRP ledger. You can't fake time. XRP's been here for over a decade, and the ledger has stood the test of time. Hackers have been trying to break it since day one, and guess what? They've failed every single time. So if you're someone looking to tokenize something on a blockchain, you're going to look at the chains with a proven track record first. Even if a newer one claims to be faster or have some fancy features, it doesn't matter if it's not secure. At the end of the day, security is everything. The XRP ledger just works. Plain and simple, we're entering a world where almost every financial asset on the planet is being tokenized, and it's happening right now. Everyone who's been saying this for the last 5, 6, 7 years, we were right. It's actually unfolding in front of us. And here's why that matters to you as an XRP holder. This shift helps secure the long-term future of both XRP and the XRP ledger. That's the big picture. That's why this moment is so important. All right, so I've got a few quick stories I want to share with you, and they all point to one thing. XRP's momentum is very real. First up, check this out. A headline straight from CoinDesk. XRP ledger tapped for tokenizing $130 million in agribusiness credit as Brazil's real-world asset push accelerates. Yeah, that's a huge deal. Real money, real use case, real adoption. Then there's this. Ripple's RLUSD, their new stablecoin, just got ranked the #1 stablecoin by Blue Chip with an A rating. And get this, it's only been live since December of last year, not even a full year yet. What does that tell you? It tells you that credibility actually matters in this space, and Ripple's got it. Oh, and one more. Japan just introduced a way for people to actually earn XRP without spending a single yen. Before we dive deeper, let me make something super clear. I don't have a financial background, and nothing I say here is financial advice. Please don't buy or sell anything just because you heard it from me. Always do your own research. All right, with that out of the way, let's jump into this first story. A Brazilian company called Vert just launched a new blockchain-based private credit platform. And guess what? It's built on the XRP ledger. They kicked things off with a massive move, a 700 million Brazilian real issuance, which is about 130 million US dollars, using something called a CRA, short for Agribusiness Receivables Certificate. Basically, it's a way to bundle and tokenize future cash flows from Brazil's farming sector, and it's now all recorded on-chain, right on the XRP ledger, using its Ethereum-compatible EVM sidechain. This means they can now track payments, loans, and cash flow activity in real time, fully transparent and fully digital. And here's the key part. This system literally cannot function without XRP. Why? Because on the XRP ledger, every single tokenized transaction burns a tiny amount of XRP by design. Here's something a lot of people don't realize. Every single time a transaction happens on the XRP ledger, a tiny fraction of XRP gets destroyed forever. It's built into the code. That's what makes XRP deflationary by design. So yeah, XRP isn't just useful, it's actually required for the system to work. Now think about this. If XRP is going to be one of the go-to blockchains for tokenizing financial assets, and clearly it already is, don't you think that as more people, companies, and even institutions start investing in crypto, they'll want exposure to XRP? Because look, if XRP is this useful, and it's literally part of the core infrastructure, wouldn't investors see it as a safe bet in the crypto space? Not because it's a hype coin, but because it has real-world use case and staying power. To me, that's just common sense. It's obvious. And I think more and more people are going to start waking up to that. So here's what Vert's trying to do. They're aiming to modernize Brazil's $200 billion private credit market using blockchain. Their new platform offers full traceability from start to finish, compliant metadata storage, and real-time updates. not just for investors, but for regulators too. According to Gabriel Braga, the director of digital assets over at Vert, their system combines on-chain data recording with off-chain backups, basically connecting Brazil's traditional financial system with the speed and transparency of blockchain. He explained that they're now able to record every operation with super fine detail, almost in real time, giving full transparency and traceability. And here's where XRP shines. The XRP ledger is low cost and super efficient, and it has EVM compatibility, which means it can run smart contracts and automate processes, all while being auditable. And that stuff matters especially to foreign investors who are demanding more transparency than ever before. So yeah, XRP not only brings the features smart contracts, auditability, low fees, but it also does what it's always done best, payments. And guess what? That's exactly what the market is valuing right now. And here we are, and this is just one of the many reasons why XRP has stayed in the top 10 by market cap for its entire life. Even with the SEC breathing down its neck and plenty of people saying XRP was done for, that it would crash out of the top 10, guess what? It didn't happen. XRP held strong. And now check this out. Pantera Capital just came out and said the tipping point for tokenization is likely around the corner. They're comparing it to the early days of ETFs, which, if you remember, changed everything in traditional finance. It all ties together. Tokenization isn't some fringe theory anymore. Back in 2017 or 2018, yeah, it sparked debate. But today, nobody's seriously disputing it. The direction is clear. Nearly every financial asset on the planet is heading toward tokenization. So check this out. Pantera Capital just weighed in on tokenization. And for those who don't know, Pantera was actually the first firm to launch a Bitcoin fund in the US way back in 2013. That's over a decade of crypto experience. The firm's led by Dan Moorhead, super sharp guy. Now, he doesn't talk about XRP much these days, but I clearly remember years ago, he said he believed XRP would be one of the few cryptocurrencies that would actually survive long-term. He saw it as one of the winners, and this was way back in the early days. Now, I haven't heard if his opinion has changed or not, but back then, he was confident. That says something. Anyway, in Pantera's latest newsletter, they dropped this gem. When the very first US equity ETF launched back in 1993, it hit $1 billion in assets under management within just 1 year. But here's the thing, the real game changer for ETFs wasn't just how big they got. The inflection point came when ETF trading volumes started to consistently match and then surpass mutual fund flows. That's when the market structure itself started to shift, and investor behavior followed right behind. And Pantera Capital believes we're about to see the same kind of shift happen with tokenization. That's right, folks, everything under the sun is going to be tokenized. Stocks, mutual funds, treasuries. And yeah, by the way, those last two, mutual funds and treasuries, have already been tokenized on the XRP ledger. This is real. This isn't theory. It's not some future experiment. It's already happening. What Pantera is saying is that soon we'll reach a point where tokenization becomes the standard, the default. And when that moment hits, we're going to see just a handful of blockchains trusted enough to handle it. And right now, XRP is one of those blockchains leading the charge. If adoption keeps growing the way it has been, and all signs say it will, then just this one use case alone is enough to lock XRP in as a long-term winner in the space. Honestly, in my mind, that's already happened. XRP is a winner. At this point, I don't even know what could stop it. It's proven itself. And with every passing month, as more adoption rolls in, that position just gets more and more cemented. That's really all there is to it. All right, here's another headline that caught my eye, and I think it's pretty cool. Ripple's RLUSD was just ranked the #1 stablecoin by Blue Chip with an A rating. That's right, #1 most trusted stablecoin on the market. Now, the next two stories I'm about to mention are quick ones, more like little blurbs, but I still think they're worth bringing up. This one comes straight from Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse. He posted saying, "In case you missed it, during all the regulatory news last Friday, Blue Chip ranked RLUSD as the #1 most trusted stablecoin in the market." Now, that's some huge praise coming from Blue Chip, especially for RLUSD, which has only been live since December. That's just over half a year, and it's already being called the most trusted stablecoin out there. That's impressive. RLUSD is coming out of the gate strong, and so far it's absolutely crushing it. And look, this is why I said Ripple launched this at the perfect time. We're still early in the life cycle of the entire crypto asset class. So if you launch a stablecoin now and you do it right, you've still got a shot at building something that could last decades in this space. Fast forward 20 years from now, good luck launching a new stablecoin and competing with the giants. It's going to be a whole different ballgame by then. But Ripple, let's be real, they've got the money, the resources, and the experience. I mean, they've got a war chest that most companies in crypto can only dream of. So if anyone's going to make this work, it's them. And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised at all if RLUSD keeps rising and becomes a major fixture in the stablecoin world going forward. Now, here's something important to understand. Yes, RLUSD is available on multiple blockchains, but one of the main ones it's tokenized on is the XRP ledger. And remember, every single transaction on the XRP ledger requires XRP to be burned. So what does that mean? It means RLUSD actually supports the long-term strength and utility of XRP itself. That's a big deal. And here's what Blue Chip had to say in their official rating. The highest rated stablecoin in Blue Chip's history has never changed until now. RLUSD becomes the new #1 ranked stablecoin. We're initiating coverage with an A rating, reflecting our view that RLUSD is one of the safest stablecoins available. There it is. Ripple's approach, being the adult in the room, staying regulatory compliant, playing by the rules, it's paying off. And for XRP holders, this is all just incredibly bullish news. It validates everything Ripple's been building, and it's helping to strengthen the XRP ecosystem even more. And then there's this, Japan just figured out a way to let people earn XRP without even spending it. So here's what's going on. For the first time ever, crypto is being added as a redeemable reward in Japan's A+ points program. If you've got an A+ credit card, you can now convert your points directly into XRP, Bitcoin, or Ethereum. That makes A+ the first major Japanese loyalty program to offer direct point-to-crypto conversions, and yeah, XRP is included. Now, I feel like I've read about something similar in other regions, maybe even here in the US, but it's like right on the edge of my brain. So if any of you watching know what I'm talking about, or if you've seen something like this, drop a comment below and let me know. I love to find out if my memory's just playing tricks on me or not. There's definitely more and more happening in the crypto space, and it's exciting to see the continued adoption. This is just another example of that, and I thought it'd be a fun little note to share at the end of the video. You've got to love it, right? It's just one more positive step forward. Honestly, if I'm going to earn rewards for my credit card, I'd much rather get them in crypto than anything else. All signs are pointing to XRP continuing to thrive. As far as I'm concerned, there's never been a better time to be an XRP holder. Of course, I'm not a financial advisor, so don't go buying or selling anything just because of what I say. Seriously, that's not the way to go. Always do your research and make decisions that are best for you.